Riddle me this. Is Israel defending its right to exist, to protect its citizens and its homeland? Or has it crossed the moral line between defense and domination? And is Hamas the voice of resistance for an oppressed people, or the architect of terror and suffering on both sides of the wall? Today, we step into one of the most painful and polarizing conflicts of the modern age, the Israel-Hamas War. If this video made you see things from a new angle, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Hero or Villain, and share this video. Thanks for watching. Origins, the seeds of conflict. The roots of the Israel-Palestine conflict reach deep into history. Faith, land, and survival intertwined for millennia. After World War II, the world sought a homeland for Jews who had endured the Holocaust. In 1947, the United Nations proposed partitioning Palestine into two states, one Jewish, one Arab. When Israel declared independence in 1948, neighboring Arab states invaded. The first Arab-Israeli war began. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians fled or were expelled, becoming refugees. To Israelis, it was independence. To Palestinians, al-Nakba, the catastrophe. Israel survived, and over the decades expanded through wars in 1956, 1967, and 1973. By 1967, it occupied the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem. In 2005, Israel withdrew troops and settlers from Gaza, but control over borders, airspace, and supplies remained in Israeli hands. Gaza became, as the UN later described, an open-air prison. In 2006, the Islamist movement Hamas won Palestinian elections, defeating Fatah. By 2007, after violent clashes, Hamas controlled Gaza completely. A government, a militia, and a movement all at once. The spark, October 7, 2023. At dawn on October 7, 2023, Hamas launched an unprecedented attack. Thousands of rockets rained down on southern Israel. Militants breached the high-tech border fence, infiltrating towns and kibbutzim. Civilians, men, women, children, were gunned down, homes set ablaze. Over 1,200 Israelis and foreign nationals were killed. More than 250 hostages were taken back into Gaza. Israel was stunned, its vaunted intelligence services blindsided. Within hours, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared, "Israel is at war." For Hamas, it was Operation Al-Aqsa Flood, revenge for decades of occupation. For Israel, it was the nation's darkest day since 1948. Israel's narrative, the right to defend. To Israel and its allies, the war was unavoidable. Self-defense. The attack of October 7th was seen as proof that Hamas would never coexist peacefully. Eradication of terror. Israel vowed to destroy Hamas military and political leadership. Hostage rescue. Recovering the abducted Israelis became a sacred mission. Security doctrine. For a small country surrounded by threats, deterrence must be absolute. Early strikes targeted rocket sites, command centers, and Hamas tunnels. Israel warned civilians to evacuate North Gaza, but for many, there was nowhere safe to go. Supporters argued, no nation would tolerate such attacks. Israel is not fighting Palestinians, it's fighting terrorism. The Palestinian perspective, resistance, or desperation. For many Palestinians, Gaza has been suffocating for years. Blockade reality. 2 million people confined within 140 square miles. Unemployment, poverty, scarce water, sporadic electricity. Dispossession. Families displaced since 1948 still live stateless, under checkpoints and military rule. Resistance narrative. To Hamas and its supporters, the fight is not terrorism. It is defiance against occupation and humiliation. Yet critics note, Hamas methods, rocket attacks, suicide bombings, the killing of civilians, have cost Palestinians global sympathy and invited devastating retaliation. To Israel, Hamas hides among civilians. To Hamas, The civilians are the battlefield. Their suffering is political leverage. And in this grim arithmetic, humanity is often the first casualty. The expanding shockwave. This conflict reverberates far beyond Gaza's borders. Regional tension. Iran supports Hamas financially and militarily. Hezbollah fires rockets from Lebanon. The entire Middle East teeters on escalation. Global divide. The West largely backs Israel's right to self-defense, while much of the global South condemns its tactics as disproportionate. Diplomatic strain. U.S. weapons aid meets protests in London, Paris, and Washington. Information war. Social media floods with misinformation and polarized narratives. Each side claims moral high ground, and each accuses the other of propaganda. By 2025, satellite data revealed over 90% of Gaza's buildings damaged or destroyed. Ceasefires came and went. Hostage for prisoner exchanges briefly paused the bombing, only for the cycle to begin again. The question the world asks now: when does defense become destruction? The human cost. Behind the politics lie lives. In Israel, families still set an empty plate for loved ones held hostage. In Gaza, children play in rubble, sketching their lost homes in school notebooks. Hospitals collapse under siege. Doctors perform surgeries by flashlight. PTSD, grief, and hunger spread faster than aid can arrive. A conflict fought in real time online. Every image, every corpse, every orphan, turning empathy into outrage, outrage into exhaustion. And yet, amidst the devastation, people still pray for peace, as if hope itself were the last weapon left. Did you know? The 2023 to 2025 war is the deadliest conflict ever in Gaza's history. More than 2 million people were displaced within the enclave, nearly the entire population. The Al-Shifa hospital controversy. Israel claimed it was a Hamas command base. Hamas and medics denied it. Remains one of the war's most disputed episodes. In 2025, Israel and Hamas briefly agreed to a ceasefire, exchanging hostages for prisoners before the deal collapsed weeks later. Sketch of the day. Today's artwork comes from Layla, age 14, in Rafah, a digital painting titled The Line of Fire. On the left, a mother holds a child beneath a broken dome. On the right, soldiers stand beneath a blue and white flag, weapons lowered. Between them, a single olive tree burns, its branches still green at the tips. A symbol of peace, scorched but not dead. Final thoughts. The Israel-Hamas war is not just a battle for territory. It is a war over truth, trauma, and the limits of humanity. Both sides claim justice. Both have buried children. And both are trapped in a history that refuses to end. Perhaps the real tragedy is this: each side's pain has become the other's justification. Until leaders learn to see through their enemies' tears, the sirens will keep wailing, and the olive tree will keep burning. Until next time, stay curious, stay human. Zooming out. If this video made you see things from a new angle, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Hero or Villain, and share this video. Thanks for watching.